And we're live.
Did it. Hey, welcome
Yay.
back.
Hi.
Yo.
What's up?
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, doing fine.
What's new with you, John?
Not all that much. We've got Coliseum coming up in 2 weeks, so I'm getting ready for that. Getting stuff moved around. I don't even know if it's even camera anymore. There was a table here because I was working on Lego stuff for stream recently.
Nice.
So, like all my free time right now is either prepping for that or prepping videos. So
Cool. I think you said virtual again for some of the people.
yeah, most of the Americans have gotten at least one shot, if not having both, and that ain't gonna be an option up here for us. So
I hear
Someone will
Canada's
be
looking
meeting in
pretty
person.
bad these days.
yeah.
It'd be worse. You could be in Ontario. I hear that place is just
apparently Ontario is
absolutely-
absolutely awful right now.
It's terrible. Yeah. What's new with you, Paul?
Nothing.
I actually go and get my second shot tomorrow,
Nice.
which is pretty damn exciting. Am a little nervous just because I hear the second shot is where all the side effects really come into play.
You're gonna get knocked on your ass, yeah.
I was fortunate enough, and the first one, no side effects besides the sore arm. So we'll see how the second one goes. I would say 9 out of 10 people I've talked to, they've gotten pretty heavy side effects. So I'm hoping I'm in that 10%.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. So we'll see. Might be a weekend of just laying in bed
Yeah.
and waiting. We'll see how it goes. I'll let everyone know next week. But yeah, it'll be nice to finally be theoretically done. Like, theoretically about to be fully vaccinated, which is pretty crazy. So yeah. Paul, I thought the latest Falcon and Winter Soldier episode was pretty great.
I don't care at all about that show. I've lost complete interest. So it's almost done.
Okay. There's one episode left, yeah. So
one episode left. They definitely built up to, man, a thing happened. The fight I've been waiting for happened, and then they are building up to the big thing now.
Are you talking about the fight at the beginning of the episode?
Yeah. It was pretty short, but it happened finally. I was waiting for it.
That was fun. Just kind of liked everything with Sam.
Okay. Yeah.
I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Sure.
I like the characters, so we'll see how it goes for sure.
They sure work on
some of the characters. Like I was talking about how like it was feeling kind of messy. They keep introducing and bringing in more characters.
Sure.
A bunch of those characters left, so it's like okay, it's a little less messy now. So I think that's why I was more into it.
That is true. And then they brought in another really weird character, so that's interesting to see what they're going to do with that person at some point. But
yeah, are you talking about the cameo, kind of like a third of the way in there?
Yeah, I mean the cameo, yes. I assume we're talking about the same person.
Yeah, that was just fun to see her in there. That was cool. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to wrapping it up. Kind of in the same vein, we got a new trailer for the MODOK cartoon.
Oh, I saw that. That looked great. That trailer looked hilarious.
Yeah, like I was literally thinking about that on like Tuesday, and I tweeted out just like, we are so lucky that this exists in the form that it is. A MODOK claymation cartoon, and he's voiced by Patton Oswalt. Like, this is just a perfect storm.
That's Patton Oswalt? I thought that was Bill Hader.
I believe it's Patton Oswalt. Could be wrong. It sounds a lot like Patton Oswalt, but I believe
I'm
his
looking
name
it
was
up.
It.
Yeah, you're right. Patton Oswalt.
So that just seems like a great fit for a MODOK. As far as I'm concerned. So I tweeted that out that I was thinking about that on Tuesday. Then Wednesday we got a new trailer. I was like, I feel like I willed this into existence somehow.
Pretty weird timing, yeah.
Yeah. So that comes out mid-May, I believe. I'm gonna be watching the hell out of that. It just looks so good.
That is Hulu, right?
That's Hulu, so I don't know what you guys are gonna do.
Yeah.
Illegally download it. Same way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same thing that happens to all the shit I can't get for normal.
Did we ever
prices.
get Animaniacs?
I don't actually know.
I don't think you guys do. I know a lot of the Hulu movies that we got last year. You guys got them on Amazon Prime. Later,
Sure. Maybe some
Palm
on Crave.
Springs. That's the thing is I don't know. I have no idea about Crave for you because I have no
Yeah.
access to Crave.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Crave was HBO, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So my guess would be Amazon Prime. You guys might get it.
Sure.
But who knows? And who knows when?
Yeah.
But I'll be watching that next month. I'm stoked. I'm excited for that.
Should be good, I think. Yep.
God, it looks so good, man. It looks so good. And then by the same vein, season 2 of Ted Lasso got a release date.
Oh, did it? When?
Yeah, late July.
Okay. Wow, that's way earlier than I thought. Okay, cool.
Me too. Like that's less than a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which I'm stoked.
Yep.
Show of 2020. I've said that countless times. I'm excited for more. My expectations though, that like before they were zero. And it was blown out of the park. Now they're like so high.
That's true. Yeah.
So part of me is worried because it's just like I love that first season so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested to see where they go with it. Like there was never really an antagonist. It's not like the type of show where there's like a villain, but like there's definitely antagonizing people, and they're kind of not really antagonizing anymore. Some of them anyway.
I guess, yeah.
I'm interested to see basically how they write, like what they write in.
Yeah.
Oh, they have stuff to do with that one that young hotshot pro football player
Who got like traded, right?
Yeah, so I guess they probably
but
do
even
more
him,
with him.
even I'm sure they'll do more with him, but even him near the end was coming around, right? And that was
Totally.
kind of one of the big things. It was like I finally broke through to him.
Totally.
But there is a new trailer out there. And I'm assuming you hadn't seen it, so maybe look at that. They are introducing some more characters.
Sure.
It looks like so.
Cool.
So I'm so excited for that.
Yeah,
I couldn't be more excited. So, and here's your weekly reminder to go watch Ted Lasso. As far as I'm concerned. So,
it's a great show.
Yeah, it really is. All right. If there's nothing else, we can start the podcast proper. This is the Top Down Perspective for April 22nd, and I'm Sean Booker.
Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
Paul, let's start with you this week. What have you been playing?
I've been taking it easy, man. I've been just playing some Isaac while listening to podcasts and catching up on like YouTube videos and shit.
Classic. Nice.
That continues to be a giant game. That
never escape.
That it feels like I'm never going to make any headway in, because it is definitely much harder. So it is harder to get wins regularly, and there's just a whole bunch of new stuff to do that I won't go too deep into because of spoilers, but there's a stupid amount of new characters, essentially.
Right. This is the final update you were saying before, right?
Yeah. So I think so. Everybody thinks so. It has been the final update 2 times now that they've said. So I think everybody's kind of taking it with a grain of salt, but I know Edmund has been working on another game while this was finishing up. So maybe he's actually like, hey, I have another thing to do. We can like shelve this for good for now then. Also, I remember I listened to a thing he was talking on, and it sounds like the next time he wants to touch Isaac is just going to be Isaac 2, Binding of Isaac 2. Like, and so at that point, that's going to be like years down the line. So, yeah.
I would be surprised if he did an Isaac 2.
I kind of would too, as well. But, I don't know. We'll see.
It almost seems like to me of kind of like I think of the God of War franchise where it's like, hey, if we're making another one, it's got to be something like special and different. And then, we got that War 2018, which is quite different.
That is kind of how he said it, where he's just like, I'm ready to shelve Isaac. and like not touch it until there's such a significant different thing I want to do that it's Isaac 2. So yeah, it makes sense. That game is still too big. Like, it was too big back 4 years ago before the 2 updates, and then this last one is fucking enormous. So I'm gonna be playing that forever, I think, and I'm never gonna get anywhere in it. But it's fun, so who cares? I played more Narita Boy. I did not finish it.
Okay. I'll quickly say I did finish it, and then the second thing I'll say is, did you get to the horse part?
Yeah, I'm at the start of the red of like the final beam. So I did the whole.
Okay, you're
blue.
pretty close. That final beam, the red area, I think is like the shortest.
Okay, the blue definitely felt the longest, but that's just because of like a lot of back and forth stuff that they make you do in it. That's a long area.
It's definitely longer. I don't exactly remember how long yellow was because I played it kind of a while ago. But red is like at the start of red, have like an hour, maybe.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't realize it was that short.
That horse part's pretty great though, right?
So the horse part happens. It's like, all right, I don't see what the big thing is, and then something happens with that horse. Just like, this is stupid. Holy shit!
But I also just like the way he like activates the horse. Like that whole thing is like, this is the silliest thing.
Essentially, like stabbing it in the back. Basically, yeah. Fucking weird, man. That continues to be a game that I can't explain to people properly what it is.
It's a cool, silly drawn game.
Yeah.
I like that game.
That is a game that people should play for sure. And like, if you bounce off of it, sure, get your refund, or like if you have Game Pass, like uninstall it. I get it. I totally get if somebody said this is not for me, but like that, it's just so weird. It's so fucking weird. Yeah.
Like it. Yeah, so I finished it. I enjoyed my time with it. There is some more set pieces you're going to come to,
sure,
that are pretty silly. One thing I don't like is there is missable stuff in that game. Like you cannot go back ever, really.
Oh, I need to ask you something then. How many pieces of the last memory disk are there?
5.
Okay, I have 4. So the last one must be in the red area.
Yeah, there's 1 in the red area, 2 in the blue area,
yep,
1 in the yellow area, and then there's one really at the beginning, and I missed that one.
Oh, that sucks.
Which really sucks because it locks the final memory behind it, so I don't know what that is. I'll probably just look it up on YouTube. But it sucks because I did like 99%.
Yeah.
To be fair, there is really no reason to go back. It's not like they're hiding stuff. It's not like it's a Metroidvania. But the fact that it's like I can't go back and pick up this one thing is just a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that you can't just... There's a fast travel system in that game, essentially. Like, there's no reason they couldn't just let you.
And to be fair, if you could go back to any point, honestly, I might dislike that because then it opens up the idea of like, hey, what's the next thing I need to go to? Do I need to go all the way back to that first area? Is that where I need to progress the next part? Because I don't remember the names of these places. They're the craziest names in the world. Like, go back to like the Synth Master. Where the hell was the Synth Master?
Yeah.
So honestly, it would kind of open up a lot of things and make it harder to progress, in my opinion. So it's like, kind of like, what can you do? I'm stuck.
Is that the one thing you can miss? There's no like other secrets, right? It's just kind of that like final disc that you have to build with fragments.
Correct, and it's a total optional thing. I'm wondering if you can. I think you need to get all the powers. I feel like every time I came across a power, I just like stumbled into it. But I think you actually need all the powers to go through some obstacles. So I think that's the only thing you can miss is those discs.
Yeah, I think they gate you without the power for anything that you could. Like, every power that's really important, you just get right at the beginning of an area or whatever. But like anything you could miss, there's usually like a breakable floor that you can't progress without the thing to break it or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. That game's neat. Yeah, that music is very good.
Did either of you hear about the special edition of the game?
No.
Because it's not on our news block, so I'm assuming it didn't come up. They're selling an arcade machine of the game.
Oh God.
Okay.
The Narita Boy Techno Edition, limited supply, comes with a bespoke Narita Boy arcade machine, custom console controller, Narita Boy on all available platforms, care package, original soundtrack, and an AR pin badge set for $11,000 US.
Okay, fuck off.
Yeah.
Man, if I had like money where I'm just like, yeah, $11,000 for a game, cool, man, I would probably do this because that's such a dumb thing. I do not have that type of money though.
It is apparently the proceeds go to the Saving the Arcade World campaign. The initiative helps raise money and awareness for video game preservation in partnership with museums around the globe.
Weird.
Okay. There are only 3 cabinets that will exist.
That's why it's so expensive.
2 of them will be in 2 of them will be in museums: the National Museum of Play in New York, the National Video Games Museum in Sheffield, England, an Arcade Vintage in Alicante, Spain, and I guess the one private cabinet, because I think they're only selling one version of this.
That's why it's that expensive for sure. Then they're not mass producing. Okay, neat, man. That's super neat.
Here, I'll put a picture in the chat for you two to see.
Yeah, I found it.
I just looked it up as well.
So
if you have $11,000 and you don't care, you should do this. But I can't. There's nobody in the world.
I would almost say there's better things to use $11,000 on.
Arguable.
How much was that Enter the Gungeon arcade machine? I forget.
I think it was much, much less.
I would hope so, but I'm just curious. Yeah. I'm looking it up right now.
I am as well, because
$5,000, yeah.
Yeah, half price. Well, less than half price. Jesus. Yeah, you're right. And that one,
apparently,
that one looks cooler. You should buy that instead if you have $11,000. Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
All right, John, what have you been playing?
All right, pretty much everything I played is from last night's stream. I've got this thing I do monthly called Whatever Wednesday, where I just pick a bunch of games I've been interested in and play them. Although, outside of those, I played Kunai. I finished that game up.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned this last week, so you stuck with it?
Yeah, I stuck with it, and I finished it. And
Nice.
it was fun. There's some bullshit in there. There's one boss in particular that stands out as a bad boss fight. You have to climb a mountain 4 times in the boss fight. Each time you get to the top and do damage to the boss, he pushes you down farther. And as you're climbing it, he removes more and more of the wall you can use to climb, so it just becomes harder and just more annoying. And then after you do this climb 4 times, you then have one final climb you have to do, but the boss does an insta-kill move, and if it touches you, you have to do the entire 5 climbs all over again.
Oh my god.
Gross.
Yeah, so screw that up a couple times, so that just dragged. That sucked.
Yep.
But other than weird little things like that, the game was all right. It was fun.
Okay.
Weird quirks, cool. I say was enjoyable. I actually did end up going back and finishing Doggerai afterwards. That was the game I talked about last week as well. That was like I wasn't too interested in it.
Yeah.
I just sat down and beat it. I didn't have much left apparently. It's really short. Like it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes to beat.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. But just really weird, like compressed. It was funny because you beat the game and then you unlock another character, and the other character is way more fun. No, it's another dog, but the other dog is way more fun than your actual main character because he has a projectile.
Sure.
So by default, he was just way more interesting and just way more fun to play. So I wonder if they ever do a sequel. I hope they keep that in mind. Stream last night, I played a game called Prodigal. This is a game on Steam that is a love letter to Link's Awakening, the Game Boy game for Zelda. And it also has a lot of interaction with NPCs. You can it's got an interesting story going on, a lot of different items you can collect. It was pretty interesting, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was a
Okay,
fun
oh
one.
yeah,
That
this
came
is
out, I
very
think
Link's Awakening. Even like the like text treatment.
the
when they're
text and HUD
talking.
is straight out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really fun though. I definitely want to play more of it because there was a story going on in the background too that seemed pretty interesting, but didn't want to spend too much time on it. That was fun. Would recommend that.
Also seems full of anime ladies.
Yep.
Cool.
We played Say No More.
Nice.
That was a game that came out, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Been recent. Yeah, you
That
should
sounds
explain
about
how
right.
this works. Kind of a
Yeah.
unique
So,
game.
yeah, Say No More is a game about you make whatever character you want, and they have confidence issues. They're an intern at a new company, and everyone is just basically stepping on them. And in this world, apparently the word no is banned, but you find a cassette tape that teaches you about the word and the power it has. So you start dealing with all your problems by saying no. Like you'll have interns or you'll have like employees come in and you'll be like, I need you to make me some coffee. I need you to fix the printer. I jammed it. And then you just give them a powerful no and send them careening off into the wall. It's just a really weird comical game. And it's got a lot of like really fun, sharply written dialogue. It's actually really good, but it's short. It's not too long, but it was just really fun and silly.
Sure.
Did you finish it?
No. We played like 40. We got through the first 2 chapters. I think there's at least another 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious kind of how fun that gets doing it over and over again, or if they mix
I
things
mean,
up.
they give you different ways of saying no. There's different taunts, and then eventually some characters only react to certain ways, so they make it tougher eventually. But there's also a lot of dialogue you can kind of take in and just listen to and be like, oh, hey, like sometimes not saying no is the correct answer. Like we
Just
found
life.
this one. Yeah, we found one person who was like, hey,
True.
can you deliver this letter to me, or letter for me to someone else? And if you say no, they get sad, and then they're like, "Oh, okay." And then they put the note back down on their desk, and you find out it's a love letter.
Wow.
But if you don't say anything, you take the love letter, go to the person you're supposed to give it to, and
And you hook up with that person. Oh yeah.
you hook the 2 of them up, yeah. So
Meant you like
they
steal the boyfriend or something.
no. You can, because they give you go to them and you're like, oh, I don't want that, throw it in the trash or something. And you just, if you say no to them, they're like, oh wait, no, this person's hot. I want to date them. Hell yeah. And then you
Nice.
hook them up. It's really
Yeah,
silly.
don't say no to hot people. That's another good rule for life.
Exactly. That's what the cassette tape tells you. No, the game's silly fun, very short, and I would recommend it. It was really good. And the last thing I played was a set of games. So Whoa Dave and Space Dave.
I think I've heard of Whoa Dave.
Yeah, Whoa Dave is done by the team that made the Runner games and Bit Trip.
Oh, okay.
I think Choice Provisions. They used to be Gaijin Games or something like that. Yeah, Choice Provisions. This was like their micro brand or something like that. It's Whoa Dave is just a little arcade game where aliens are showing up on your planet and you need to get rid of them. So eggs appear that they hatch out of, and they dip into lava, which evolves them into more powerful aliens. So you have to throw either other eggs or skulls at them to kill them. And as you're killing them, they drop pennies. So the high score system is how much money you earn. So it's just a weird, yeah.
This is not the game I was thinking it was. What is the game? I think it has Dave in the name, but he's like a stunt guy.
Are you thinking Joe Danger?
Maybe Joe Danger.
Oh man, I loved Joe Danger back in the
I think
day.
I was thinking of Joe Danger. Is this like Joe Danger?
No.
Okay.
Joe Danger is more like Trials,
Yeah.
from what I remember.
Yep.
Yeah. No, Whoa Dave's more like the original Mario Brothers, the arcade game.
Yes, No Man's Skies, Joe Danger.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's them. They went from Joe Danger to No Man's Sky, a big step. Whoa Dave's just like a fun arcade game. We played a versus mode off stream, and that was amazing and super fun, very competitive. Then we also played Space Dave, which is basically if Whoa Dave is the original Mario Brothers, Space Dave is Space Invaders.
Okay.
So you have a jetpack and you have a
okay.
laser gun, and aliens are flying in trying to blow up the Earth and steal trees. so you need to like shoot them all down. But eventually, like whenever an alien touches the Earth, they really they rip out a part of the planet and lava pools appear instead. So you have to keep dodging like the ground disappearing as you're also fighting these aliens. It was really tough, but it was really fun too.
Going to assume it's more fun than Whoa Dave because original Mario Bros kind of sucks.
I really like Whoa Dave,
Okay.
but I Space Dave is more engaging. Sure, let's put it that way.
You also
Sure.
like original Mario Bros? I don't ever want to play original Mario Bros.
50-50 on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes original Mario is fun, sometimes it sucks. Whoa Dave is pretty good. It gets pretty hectic and fast.
Okay.
And because it's the Bit Trip guys, the more points you get, the more the music evolves and gets more
Nice.
like energetic. So
Whoa Dave is on
That's all I played.
everything. What are you playing it on? Are you playing it on a Wii U?
Yeah.
I played Whoa Dave originally on a 3DS. I played it years ago because I actually played it at PAX East, but I played it on Steam last night. And
Okay.
I played Space Dave on the Switch because I think it's only on the Switch.
Maybe. I can't. There's no way to know.
I
so.
couldn't find confirmation online. It was weird. But yeah, that's all I played.
All right. What did I play? I talked about Narita Boy. I also finished Spyro 3, which means I have finished the full trilogy now.
Woo.
How do you feel about it?
That's a great bundle. The fact that I also
Yeah.
got that on sale for like $15-20, that's a whole lot of game. That's a really great package right there. And it was also kind of nice just like going through this like chunk of game history that I just had no experience with and just kind of getting like a crash course. Like now I'm saying like now I know a lot about Spyro now. I feel like I have a very educated opinion on Spyro. Not that I'm going to play them. Are any of the other ones good? Because I was kind of just looking at the Spyro Wikipedia page. It's a lot of DS games and like Game Boy games.
So what about all the PS2
and then the
ones?
and then there's the odd ones that did come to consoles. But it seems like from my outside perspective, it seems like Spyro lost his way after the first
that
trilogy.
seems to be the general consensus I've heard is that I think one of the PS2 ones is considered pretty good to okay, and the other one sucks. But I don't remember which is which. I know Elijah Wood voices Spyro in one of them.
Oh man.
Okay. It's probably the Game Boy one.
No, it's one of the yep, sure is.
They got all the money for the Game Boy one. So you don't think there would be a another trilogy? There's no point in doing that because those games are not.
I wouldn't be shocked
beloved.
if they did a Spyro 4, considering Crash 4, but I've been surprised before. Who knows?
Oh, a new one. Okay, yeah, that would be cool. I would definitely play that. They could call it "It's About Time." It'd be about like time travel shenanigans. Yeah, I would play that for sure. I think 3 is my favorite of the 3. First off, it has more of kind of like some actual narrative to it. There's a bit more story besides just this bad guy wants to be the king. Also, from a gameplay perspective, I've said before, 1, the stages are kind of pretty linear. 2, they kind of open up the stages and they put a bunch of mini games in there. 3 is a bit of a mix, but they kind of put the mini games like after you have finished the kind of straightforward linear path. So I kind of liked that one, the way they did that. However, 3 is the only one that requires you to do some kind of grinding right before the final boss. You need to get a certain number of the collectibles, whereas all the other ones, you can just keep going. And then if you want to get to like the bonus stage at the end, you have to get all the collectibles. 3, you need to get 2/3 of the collectibles to do the final boss. So that was kind of a bummer. But it's easy enough.
Pretty lame.
Yeah, it is easy enough to get those dragon eggs, so it didn't bug me too much. Still, not being able to invert the movement while you are flying, swimming, is a nightmare. And there's underwater stages, and oh my god, those are so bad. It sucks whenever you're underwater. Yeah, I'm shocked that they updated everything and then they left kind of a like middling control scheme. It is bananas to me. But either way, I had a fun time. It was nice kind of going through those all three of them back to back.
Cool.
And the last game I played is I finished up a game called Morkredd. I talked about this game a few months ago, and then
Yeah.
I just got back to it this week to wrap it up.
This is
For
a
those who maybe
co-op
have forgotten,
game, right?
yeah, it is a local co-op game.
Oh.
So I played it by myself.
Yeah.
I would love if this had online co-op, but sometimes we can't have nice things.
True.
So
yeah.
I don't remember. I talked about this back in December, I think, when it came to Game Pass. You control two characters, each with one thumb of the analog sticks. You have to move a ball of light around. If the characters go in the shadows, you die. So it's a lot of kind of puzzles about trying to manipulate the area, but not having a shadow cross in front of your path. And you have to be careful of each other because you also cast a shadow. So you're kind of working around like that. That game goes to some weird ass places in like the final two areas. The second last area, I'm just going to give you the name of it. It's called The Meat.
Ew.
I think that's a pretty evocative name for a stage.
Yeah.
So pretty much what you're thinking is probably pretty correct.
Is it Vor? Is that Vor?
I'm not going to spoil that much of it. I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
The fact you're not answering that question worries me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've asked you to stop bringing up Vor on the podcast. I don't know how many times. So
this is at least.
I am very concerned that it came up in the podcast. I am not going to lie.
I like Morkredd. I think that's kind of a fun, like almost like a test to see if you can left brain, right brain do it the whole time. Because there's definitely a lot of times you're like, I need to move this character, and then the other one's just on autopilot as they like walk into a shadow, and it's like, man, what am I doing? This crappy left hand. What are you good for?
That seems like a
or
nightmare.
You could play local co-op, and each
Yeah.
person controls it with a gamepad. And I'm sure it's on Steam, and then you could do the fake co-op that way.
Oh
But
yeah.
I was playing it on Game Pass, so I just played it by myself, and it was fine. None of the puzzles are hard enough or require timing in a way that you'll get that stressed out.
Okay.
They definitely take that into consideration. So that's a cool game. I would recommend it if you're looking for something kind of interesting. That's Morkredd on Game Pass.
Cool.
And with that, let's do some news. By the way, who's watching Mortal Kombat this weekend?
Oh God, yeah.
I would, but I don't know how to watch it.
Yeah. Well, you're in the States, it's on HBO Max. so I'm gonna watch it that way. I'm assuming that movie is going to be real bad. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
I think that someone said the first like 6 or 10 minutes of the movie are up on YouTube, and apparently it starts pretty good.
The first 7 are up on YouTube. They released that a few days ago, and all I could think was, why would you do this? I guess if they're putting the whole thing out on HBO, who cares? But yeah, that's a weird advertising tactic. Here's the first 7 minutes of a movie. Okay, first bit of news. CD Projekt Red, we got some sales figures on how they did in 2020. Cyberpunk sold 13.7 million copies by the end of it. No idea if that includes refunds or what.
There's no way. There's no way.
Well, to be fair, I'd be surprised if that many actually did get refunded. Here's a question. Do you think more or less than 100,000 people refunded Cyberpunk?
More or less than 100?
More.
Honestly, I think
100,000?
if you guessed 100,000, you'd probably be close.
I bet it's less than 100,000. That's just my guess. I have no way of answering that, but
yeah, I don't really know either. I sure know a lot of people that like were pissed off enough to say they were going to, but totally didn't, because I still see it in their Steam library. So,
classic.
There is that.
The Witcher 3 had its second best year in history in 2020. It sold 30 million units, and I'm assuming it's a bunch of upset people with Cyberpunk 2077 that they're like, well, I'm just going to go buy the other one.
Yeah. Could be.
Next-gen console editions of both Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3 are going to launch in the second half of 2021.
Okay, cool.
And then there's some breakdown of some of the 13.7 million units of Cyberpunk that were sold. Just over half of those were PC. About 30% were PS4, and then 17% were Xbox. That's probably what I would have guessed.
It's a lot. Yeah, those are big numbers for sure.
Then about 75% of the 10 million Cyberpunk 2077 copies were sold digitally. Sorry, 73% or 10 million sold digitally.
Okay, gotcha.
So there you go. Actually, wow, there's a cool infographic here of what percentages were broken down by region. North America coming in at 37.8%, followed by Europe 33.8%. Africa only 0.2%.
Sure.
Interesting.
I've never kind of seen a breakdown. South America, I'm actually surprised South America is pretty low at 3.6%. I know Brazil's a pretty big gaming place, but also 1.3% unknown. I don't know what that means.
I don't know, VPNs or something.
Other planets.
Yeah,
Other planets, Antarctica.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? I would love, if I was in Antarctica and I had access to like Stadia, I would definitely take like a picture and tweet that. Look, I'm playing Cyberpunk Antarctica on Stadia on like my phone.
Yeah.
Bet that would get you a few likes. There's a pro
Probably.
tip if anyone wants to do that.
Yep.
Okay, the Epic Game Store is going to start. Not exactly selling. They are adding apps to the store, including Itch.io, Brave the browser, iHeartRadio, and more. Discord and House Party will be coming in the future.
Okay.
Your Epic Games update. Yep.
Why?
Like,
I guess Steam does that.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just something you do. You got to check the box.
I guess like I kind of see Itch, like at least that's still pretty gaming product focused.
I am a little surprised about Itch.io actually, because Itch.io is usually seen as like an indie kind of scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the games on Itch.io are not going to be on a typical store.
Right.
But you're over there. You're shopping for whatever the latest exclusive is. You're gonna download the latest free game, and you're like, you know what I could go for? The Brave browser. I'll just throw that in the cart.
They could
why not?
They could integrate the Brave browser like with Steam overlay. You can open up a web browser and like look shit up if you wanted to. I could see them like maybe using some of that infrastructure or something.
And I don't think they're combining. They're just offering you to download these programs. So it is the equivalent of you're going to pick up some gum at the checkout, but now it's the Brave browser.
Sure.
Sony is testing out the PlayStation Plus Video Pass. It's a test service that is launching in Poland only. Actually launched yesterday, early today. This is going to give PS Plus users access to over 20 movies, TV shows from the Sony Pictures, and more content every 3 months. No word on whether the tests will come to other markets.
Sure. I mean, it's the one thing they have over Microsoft, I guess, that they could offer. So.
What I was kind of thinking is like that's a cool feature that Xbox does not do with Game Pass. They don't give away movies. This would definitely get me to turn my PlayStation on more if they were going to have like the latest thing for whatever reason. Like
with Vin Diesel, hell yeah, man.
I mean, I haven't seen that movie. If they were just going to give me access to it, I would boot it up and watch that. Sure.
Yeah.
So if you're Polish, there's something you can brag about.
That one, it's for you.
Yep. Now's your time.
All right, best news of the week, and possibly my new most anticipated game of 2021. The Great Ace Attorney has been announced for regions outside of Japan.
Cool.
If people don't know what the Great Ace Attorney is, this is Ace Attorney franchise, but with Phoenix's ancestor, who, guess what, also solved crimes.
You don't say.
It runs in the family.
So
Yeah.
runs in the family. It is coming out in 2 different configurations. The first being the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is going to be both of the Great Ace Attorney games. That's going to run for $40 American. That's going to be July 27th, which I believe is 4 days after Ted Lasso Season 2. So my new favorite week of 2021. They are also doing a bundle that will include the 3, like the original trilogy will be there as well. I'm assuming that's going to be a $60 product.
Yeah,
There's some
probably.
bonus pre-order DLC that includes concept art and music.
Cool.
So try to contain your excitement.
Done.
Already done.
These are coming to Steam, Switch, and PS4.
Okay.
I'm so stoked. This is great, and I think this means we're only missing one Ace Attorney game now, and it's the
Miles
sequel.
Edgeworth 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So this is great. I think it has a pretty cool box art. I'm excited. It's going to be a discount title. This is just great. All smiles over here. Speaking of Discord, though, Discord has ended its talks with Microsoft. They are remaining an independent studio, potentially looking into a public or going public, but they are not going to be bought by Microsoft.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are breathing a sigh of relief about this one.
I guess so. Between the two options, I like Discord as it is. I don't think it needs. Who knows? Here's kind of a weird twist. Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan, face of Overwatch.
Kind of the face of Blizzard as far as everyone's concerned. He's the old guard. He's like the last of it. So
is leaving Blizzard Entertainment.
Yep.
He had such a unique kind of role because you don't see a lot of people kind of becoming the face of a game, at least not on this scale of game. This guy was out there like with like weekly updates, doing videos and live streams and stuff. He really kind of like had a huge community presence.
Huge. Yep. Also, this is very sudden with no lead up, and that's weird.
I mean, the lead up, I might argue, is everyone else who's leaving Blizzard, who is kind of a legacy developer.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is that. But like so they had the BlizzCon line, and he was kind of there for a minute saying, "We don't really have much. Here's what we could show you." And the next time we heard from Jeff Kaplan is, "I'm leaving." It's like, well, I'm really not sure Overwatch 2 is going to be very good now. I have a bad feeling.
I mean, I think reading into it in that regard, like a lot of people are touching Overwatch. It is not just coming down to Jeff Kaplan and his personal computer typing away coding Overwatch 2. So I don't really know, but it is interesting. I think it is kind of more. I think it's more of a culture thing. It seems everyone who was around his kind of tenure is leaving, and I'm assuming it's just more of that. That's the read I got. Only time will tell. He was there for 19 years, which is a lot.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, Jesus.
So good for him. I am curious if they try to like get someone to fill his shoes for that kind of community role.
Yeah, no, there's already the dude that was working under him that started doing Overwatch with him. I don't remember his name. He's moving into his position.
Okay.
So it is another dude who has been doing Overwatch from the very beginning.
Yeah. That's good for sure. I'm still super curious what that Overwatch 2 is. I would love to see more of that. This is an old news stories that I forgot to delete out of my collection.
Wait, that's not.
And this one was sent on.
That's brand new. PlayStation said that the store is going to be available. They rescinded the fact that they're getting rid of it.
Didn't we say that last week?
No, that only got announced like Monday.
2 days ago or something. Yeah.
I have a picture. I have a memory in my head of saying that, and John agreeing. Yep, they went back on that. So what am I thinking of?
I don't know.
No idea. No idea, dude.
I don't even. I have a whole conversation that I lived through. It meant something to me, John.
Oh well.
Okay. Oh, okay. They are not closing down the PS3 Vita and the PSP stores. Those are staying open.
Yay.
I honestly have no idea what we are. Maybe there was something else. I could have sworn there was something where we. What it may, you know what it may have been? May have been because a couple weeks ago we said this is a rumor. The following week we said this is confirmed, and maybe I'm remembering John saying, "Yep, this is confirmed." I think that's
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Because that definitely
that's what I'm
happened.
thinking of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So they're not doing it. They said, "Hey, we messed up. Clearly, this was a bad call," so they're keeping them open. I feel bad for everyone who went out and bought that like PSN 3 pack that we're selling on eBay for like $200.
Oh
like
man.
the day before this. That had like what is in that 3 pack? It's like Fat Princess. Tokyo Jungle in that one as well?
Probably because that's what most people were scrambling to find was Tokyo Jungle.
No, there's a disc. There's a disc that's like, hey, here's some PSN games that we're going to print on disc. Sure, Fat Princess is on it. Let me quick Google. This is not helping at all. Okay. Someone in the chat will tell me, I hope. Anyways, they're keeping them open. Good for them. It is kind of surprising that it took them like 4 weeks course correct on this. And I saw an interesting comparison to when Microsoft was going to like raise Xbox Live Gold, and people were like, "Are you kidding? So why aren't your games that are free to play not free to play?" And they're like, "You know what? You're right." And they rescinded that in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then Sony's like, "We're going to talk about this for 3 or 4 weeks." They did a good thing. It is a bummer that it took like all of the games industry to be like, "Please stop, please don't." But in the end, they did the right thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sony, the next story I was going to talk about, we got this sent on Discord. Sony has published a patent for an AI bot that will play your games for you.
Thank God.
Finally, someone gets to do my job for me.
Uses artificial intelligence to monitor players as they play games with the intent of creating and controlling an AI character that mimics the user's inputs in those games. What would you use an AI bot that plays your games for you for? That's my question to you. Grinding?
I mean, that's the most logical use of it is grinding. Some people are going to use it to like get better ranks in multiplayer.
Sure, yeah.
But if it's only as good as you are, it'll never get better. It'll just stay at that level, right?
Yeah.
You have
Potentially,
to
but
improve.
like it also has to like learn it some way, right?
I don't know. Can it learn? I thought it learned from you. Like you have to get better, and then it learns off of your new and improved tactics. Do you have to? Let's say, I'll break this down. Let's say you're like a level 5 player. It levels up to a level 6. Like it gets to 5 because of you, and then it progresses to a 6. Do you have to then beat it to prove that it is not better than you so that it can keep going?
You have to beat it to get your controller back.
That's a good one. What if instead of it giving you your controller back, it gives you the crappy third-party one that your parents bought you because you're now the little brother?
No, your brother's controller.
Yeah, exactly. I have vivid memories of having a third-party N64 controller that the side pieces they could rotate out a little bit if you wanted that for some reason. And whatever the rotating mechanism was, it would pinch the skin on your hands.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's a classic third-party controller right there. The patent also covers the possibility of a game being able to notify a player if they are struggling to complete a task that the AI can assist them with. Now it could straight up dunk on you and be like, "Move over, baby
Yo, we
gamer.
noticed you suck
I'll
at this
beat the
game
boss
here.
for you."
We'll do the work.
Yeah, this is you have Nintendo being like, "Here's the golden suit. If you die a few times in a row," this is like, "Why don't you just watch? You just sit back and we'll do this whole thing for you because you're a little baby."
You're clearly not good enough, so here. We hired a robot to do your work for you.
Yeah. Yep. All right, and this last one is we got the new game announcement from Extremely OK Games, the people behind Celeste. They have a new game coming called Earthblade. There's a kind of a trailer. It's an image with some music, and they're giving it as a vibe reveal.
Yeah, it's literally nothing.
So I ask you this: if you've seen this trailer, quote unquote trailer, what kind of game do you think it is?
No idea. It's literally nothing.
What do you get from this vibe? Let's do a quick vibe check. What do you
Secret
get?
of Mana. Is
Yeah,
what I
I'm
get.
Can I
definitely
just say a
getting-
vibe trailer? It sounds like the dumbest fucking thing.
It is. Yep.
Sometimes you got to do a vibe check, man. That's important.
Vibe checks.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, but like not as a company.
Some companies definitely got to do a vibe check. They got to be like, hold on the phone.
I would love
Let's
if
all do a quick
Walmart
vibe
did
check.
a vibe check. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Customers, it is now 12:05. Time for the daily vibe check. If you could all put your groceries down and join us in a quick 15-minute, a tight 15 vibe check. In which case, no one is allowed to leave or enter the store.
Oh. Maybe Amazon workers will actually get to use a bathroom if there was vibe checks.
Amazon workers would love Amazon to do a vibe check.
Yeah.
They could use a little more of the Earthblade vibe. These are some positive vibes I'm getting.
God.
Yeah, I get Secret of Mana. I definitely get an RPG kind of look to it.
Same.
Sure. I like the music and I like the art. Oh, that's cool. And the fact that none of those are a platformer, that's exciting to me. I've seen them do platformers very well. I would love to see something new from them. So yeah.
Sure.
All right, that's going to do it for news. Time for questions. If you want to send a question in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I'll read this first one from Kevin. Is ASMR art?
Yes,
It
because I
takes
hate it
enough
and I hate
effort,
art.
So yeah.
Sorry, John, what was your reasoning?
Yeah, because it takes like actual effort, and not everyone can do it.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Oh no.
Pressing 300 pounds takes a lot of effort, and not everyone can do it. Is that art?
Yeah.
Probably.
And aside, boys, I'm about to show you a beautiful sculpture.
Weightlifting's an art form, so yeah, I'd agree.
Oh man, can you tell that to my dad, please?
Well,
I would say yes because it's something other than spoken word. Just talking doesn't seem like an art form to me, though.
Yeah.
They're adding something to it.
I mean,
I
guess like for me, art's always like a creative expression of something. I could see. So there are ASMR people, I guess I would call artists, but there are also people that buy a microphone and whisper in it and call that ASMR, which I would not call art. So I think there is a distinction like anything else where it's kind of like, yeah, some people do it well and some people just, I don't know.
do not.
I don't want to get into creepy
enough.
territory because there's a lot of weird creepy shit when you start talking about ASMR people.
There's a fine line. There's always a fine line though between anything and the creepy, sexy version of it.
Not
I
even
feel like I don't know
necessarily sexy.
enough. I don't necessarily know enough about ASMR to be able to judge whether it's good ASMR.
Yeah,
I don't have the experience myself.
I have heard like an ASMR thing where it is like you are getting a haircut or something, and it's like it almost is like perfectly done. And then I've also unfortunately heard clips of a girl sticking her tongue down a ear mic thing, and I wanted to fucking blow my head off because it was the worst sound. So yeah, there's a spectrum there for sure.
Feel like I just want to say yes so that
Yeah.
no one gets upset with me. This is kind of like the porn argument is I can't classify it, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. Stop licking microphones. It's disgusting. God, I hate that shit. Or stop, you know what? Just stop linking me it. Do whatever you want. Just leave me the
That's
fuck
probably
out.
the better one, yeah. Send those to @Proton John on Twitter.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No thanks. No thanks.
Send all your microphone licking videos to @Barack Obama. on
There
Twitter.
you go. He's got a podcast now. He needs to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Suku has a couple questions here. First, has a name in a video game completely taken you out of it? Yes. Every time Kojima does something like Die Hard, man.
But yeah, you beat me to it. I was just like Cockamamie High Roller from Metal Gear 2.
Yeah, anytime Kojima just does a name that is obviously like, I saw a thing and this is funny, haha, it takes me out of that moment completely when they actually say their name.
I mean, I think of like the Ace Attorney games, but that's almost like a staple of that series now. So it would be
Yeah.
weird if they didn't do something dumb. It's almost gotten to the point where it's like I need to figure out what the joke is to this person's name.
Right.
Every time they introduce someone else.
Sure. I guess the second part of this question, do you prefer ridiculous or mundane detective names?
This is in like reference to like for the great Ace Attorney, the Sherlock Holmes counterpart is actually named Herlock Sholmes.
Yep.
I see. Okay.
Which there's precedent for that, because Arsène Lupin had Herlock Sholmes, because apparently the Arthur Conan Doyle like family will not actually like let people use Holmes in certain ways. So that's just to get around that.
Oh, weird. Huh.
Yeah. There's been a lot of precedent for this in the past, apparently.
Okay. I guess I prefer mundane, but I'm trying to think of detective names, I guess.
Philip Marlowe, Perry Mason.
Like, those are pretty mundane,
Bruce
right?
Wayne. The Batman.
Oh, yes. The world's greatest detective.
Yeah, there you go. How about Benoit Blanc from Knives Out?
Sure. I was also thinking Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, yeah, there's a good one.
The Mystery Gang.
Yeah.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Yeah. All right. Second question.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Second question from Suku. Fucking Christ. Blast from the past question. Favorite Mario character? Here are the previous answers. So we have the previous answers.
Answer it first before we check them out.
I mean, I had to check them out when I moved them over, so I saw them. And I will say, I guessed one right. And I'll tell you which one.
John,
after.
what is your favorite Mario character?
Probably mine. If I had to guess, I answered with the either Waluigi or Bowser. I'm gonna guess Waluigi.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I would have guessed. I probably would have. My guess would have been my Mario Kart or Mario Party character, Toad. Although I could have seen myself maybe saying Yoshi, but I'll go Toad.
What are your guesses for Nathan?
Oh man.
Yoshi.
Yoshi. I was kind of going Wario.
Okay. You're wrong all about everything. So Nathan's was Luigi.
Wow.
Sean's was
Okay.
Waluigi.
Oh, god damn it.
And John's was Wario.
Why would I have picked Wario over Waluigi?
Seems
Would I
weird.
have picked Waluigi? What I think we've learned over the last few weeks is that 10 year ago Sean sucked.
Yeah.
Just a
Did
complete
was there
idiot.
some rule where we couldn't say the same answer? Because I feel like that's the only way I would say Wario over Waluigi.
I thought that was
I don't
weird.
know. I don't know. 10 years ago was Waluigi the meme he is now? Maybe that's kind of what it was.
I mean, I guess at this point I hadn't gone all in on Waluigi and TRG, but I was definitely like playing as him in games, so I have no idea why I would have said that.
Weird.
Maybe it's just because I like the Wario Land games, or maybe we had some rules. I don't know. It's got to be something like that.
I doubt we had rules for what is your favorite. Who
Wouldn't
knows?
surprise me knowing this podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wouldn't surprise me. So I also got all those wrong when I was guessing, like as I pulled them, because I kind of wanted to. I did get one right, and the one right I got was Nathan's least favorite, and I'm gonna ask you guys.
Well, before we do that, Paul, what is
Yeah.
your favorite Mario character?
Oh, dude, I don't know. What's say Daisy.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
I am Daisy.
Daisy. Okay, so the second part of this question is least favorite. I got Nathan's right because I remember specifically him ranting about something. But I didn't get either of your two right. So Sean, who do you think you said was your least favorite?
Oh man. It's not an enemy, is it?
No.
So that's the problem. I can't tell because me, I feel like I probably would have said Boom Boom or something like that, but I don't think Boom Boom
So
was.
John's yours was kind of a joke answer. So you're probably not
course.
gonna get yours.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
What would I have said as a
I don't know.
joke answer?
I don't know. Mario's boring. Did I say Mario?
No, you said Daisy is your least favorite.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I have no affinity towards Daisy.
Sure. Okay. Do either of you have a guess for Nathan's? Because John's is tied to Nathan's, kind of.
I'm gonna. I don't know. Birdo.
No.
I have no clue.
So Nathan really hates Baby Bowser and Bowser Jr. And because of that, John says he just hates babies in general. That was his answer.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I believe that answer.
I mean, that almost doesn't count because, like, who is gonna pick Baby Mario as their favorite character? There's no reason to like any of the babies.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So you have to answer, Paul. Your least favorite.
I mean, it's probably Baby Mario, right? Like,
Yeah.
more so than Baby Bowser, even. Fuck, I hate Baby Mario.
I would probably also just say Baby Mario because they're like that almost. I feel that's such a cheap answer.
It is.
Why would anyone like Baby Mario?
Yeah, it's a cheap answer for sure.
John, would you like to read this next one from Lineback?
Lineback Red Sentence says, asking for a friend, how do you politely tell someone that their jokes are terrible? There is no such way.
You just don't laugh. Like, that's the simplest way to tell everybody that you
I've tried just sighing and saying why at bad ones, and it just encourages them more. So,
yeah, depending on the person, I could see that for sure.
You got to get all your friends in a room, and you got to get this friend to come in, and each person has a letter. They're going to be like, hey, Peter, remember when you said this joke? And then that person reads the entire joke with the punchline, and they go, I didn't find that funny. And you go in a circle, and it takes 3 hours.
Yeah. The worst intervention that nobody wants to be a part of.
Yep.
Second question says, out of Professor Layton, Phoenix Wright, and Stu Pickles from Rugrats, who is the best father?
What?
Okay.
It is definitely not Stu.
Oh, okay, so here's the thing. Let's break down the positives and negatives of each.
Yeah.
Professor Layton, I don't think technically has, just like Phoenix, I don't think actually has a biological kid. And in fact, Phoenix, I think, adopts Maya. Is that right, John?
Not Maya. Trucy.
Oh, okay, Trucy, right. But it is somewhat of a surrogate father to Maya.
Yeah, I guess.
In the same way, because Professor Layton, I don't think adopts anyone. He has Luke and Catriel, one of which is
isn't Catriel his daughter?
no, one of them is like the assistant, and the other one is the apprentice, I believe. I don't think Catriel's his daughter. Either way, I think Stu Pickles actually wins this.
No, there's no way.
Okay, well, let me hear your reasoning.
Because every time Stu Pickles is supposed to be doing something to watch his fucking kids, he's inventing something, and the kids are doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I would argue the kids get in a lot of trouble, and as a result, not the best father.
Not only that,
Catriel is adoptive daughter.
Stu has literally invented things that have almost killed the kids multiple times.
I mean, but which father hasn't?
I mean, that's true. You got a point.
Probably Phoenix Wright has not created something that would have killed their daughter.
I just got reminded that Layton has like 3 kids. And there was that weird side game that wasn't the Catriel, like Layton's mystery journal one.
Oh, wasn't that with like Layton 5 or whatever it was, or Layton 7?
No, it was an iOS game. It was called like the Layton Mystery Brothers or something like that.
Okay.
Alfendi. What was this one? Inspector Alfendi Layton. Layton Brothers Mystery Room is Professor Layton's son. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Phoenix Wright because he basically gives up his job to take care of Trucy, even though he gets tricked into being her father.
Yeah, an older Phoenix Wright is like weirdly wise and like going to prison with like a scheme and stuff. Stu Pickles the only one where we see the kid grow up and they're doing okay though? There is the time jump and they get all grown up.
Trucy.
There's a time jump after Trucy is introduced?
No, well, yeah, there's a bunch of flashbacks.
Okay, I don't remember the flashbacks. Okay. I think Professor Layton wins the second part of this question.
Oh yeah. Second part of the question is, add on to that, which of these 3 could get their kids out of danger the best? Oh yeah, 100% Layton.
Layton can like fence weirdly well. So did you say he's the smartest one here? I think easily.
Yes.
Yeah, Layton's thinking like 3 steps ahead at all times. Matchsticks for days.
Can we stop pretending like Stu Pickles is even an option here for either of these? Especially when you're just like, he's the smartest here, right? It's like, yeah.
Well, Stu can't be that dumb. He is inventing stuff.
He's a failed inventor. Although, I mean, it's weird how
he creates a lot of shit.
It's weird that like a lot of his shit works. It's just bad. Yeah. Like it's bad ideas, but they all work. Well, they don't all work. They mostly.
They have to just explode once and turn his whole face and hair black halfway through the episode.
I mean, and then the music makes that "ba" noise. The "ba ba
ba ba."
Yeah, exactly. Now, if we're saying who's the funniest. Like, it's probably still not Stu, but he's more in the running.
I might give that to Phoenix.
Yeah, it's probably Phoenix, but I mean, Stu's probably a little more in the running.
Okay. Which one would you most like to see like a new property with? Whether it's like a sequel or a new...
Rugrats is already coming out. They've already announced they're doing a new Rugrats.
Hey, so are you super excited for that more than you're excited for the next like Phoenix Wright?
No. Fuck no. I want new Phoenix Wright.
Okay. Or
I had
New
my time
Layton.
with Rugrats. I've done my time.
I want a new Professor Layton the most, but I think it's because it's like the least likely at this point.
In the chat, what if you replace Stu with Kratos? How different would the answers be?
Well, most likely get someone out of trouble. Definitely Kratos.
Yeah.
I think Kratos
Most likely
wins
put
that
them
one.
in trouble. Also Kratos.
Yeah. Stu might be a better father than Kratos, so there is that.
Yeah, I don't think Kratos is a great father for sure.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so wait, who did we say was the best father? Phoenix?
Yeah, that's my vote.
All right. Yeah, I could see that. Guy wears a suit. I guess Professor
True.
Layton kind of wears a suit. There's
Yeah.
a turtleneck. Okay. Rinku writes in, after listening to Sean's most disappointing game of 2009, which you can hear what it is, as well as several hours of other podcasts for only $2 a month,
Oh my God, that's actually in the question.
It's literally written
Down
in the
perspective.
question. Yeah.
It's another game you've tried multiple times to get into, but for whatever reason, you can't. Is less likely these days that I am trying multiple times to get into a game when I
Yeah.
have access to so many games right now.
Totally. Yep.
Versus in the past where it's like, I bought this. I'm not getting another game for a little bit. I gotta keep trying.
I have half-assedly tried twice to get into Andromeda, and it's just never got me.
Okay.
Like, I haven't given it like a full, like, I'm gonna play 20 hours and see how I feel. I would just play and then be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do something else.
Yeah, I only gave it like the one solid try, but it's one I would like to go back to. I'm also similar with Horizon. I gave it the one try, bounced off, but it's one that I'm any day now planning to get back to and give it another real solid try.
I know on stream there's been a bunch of games I've played that have been like, this isn't for me, but I can't think of any like concrete examples right now of like something that's pretty well liked, and I'm just like, nah, not for me.
All right.
Okay. Rasterman7 writes in a recent Twitter post, it was mentioned that the Celeste team was working on a 2D exploration game. While I wonder what they mean by exploration, I guess is that in a way they're saying it's a 2D Metroidvania? Now, how similar do you think these terms are? As in, would you say they convey the same style of game or not quite? More so, in the case they are similar, do you think it's likely the industry could classify Metroidvania games as exploration games or not? That is, considering the perks and drawbacks of the term Metroidvania.
I know a bunch of people have wanted to get away from the term Metroidvania since it's kind of a specific type.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it'll ever really happen.
I feel exploration is just a real vague term, and it's so similar to like action adventure. That is also vague, but it's so ingrained that's just going to be a thing.
That's my problem with it, is that it's just too vague. Where Metroidvania is like, you have to kind of know what I mean, but then it's very specific what that type of game is. This is the other side of it, where it's like, that's way too vague. You could literally mean any type of game.
However, if someone did say we're working on a 2D explore action game, I probably would think of something like a Metroidvania. Because it kind of conveys everything I needed. Like, okay, 2D setting, so I'm already going to be thinking, I'm going to be thinking of a platformer or something like that. And the exploration part of it is immediately going to tie me to a Metroidvania.
Yeah. It was actually just said in the chat here, but if you just said exploration, Breath of the Wild is like the first thing that pops in my mind, because that game is literally nothing but exploration with action points that happen.
Right. So then what jumps in your mind when you say action adventure?
Batman, Assassin's Creed, something with a more emphasis on combat.
Okay. Interesting, because like I would almost argue that a lot of the Assassin's Creed games are more of an emphasis on the exploration and the combat. In fact, combat is the worst part of those games. Take that from someone who has played too much Assassin's Creed in the last year.
As somebody who's played not as much, I didn't find the exploration the thing that mattered in that at all, though. So that's why I kind of just think of it must be the combat people like about these, because the open world doesn't do it for me.
Then what do you think of when? Because you said exploration, you think of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Both of you said that. What if they said though 2D exploration? What do you think of?
yeah, it probably is like a Metroidvania type of game at least, but like not with the weird trappings of Metroidvania of going back a lot or whatever. Probably just like a giant open world ish type thing. I'm trying to.
And
think
if I think of,
Mhm.
if I'm thinking, and so what do you guys? What pops in your head if you hear 2D action adventure?
Like a hack and slash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Contra
Yeah, I don't know.
or something.
So like it kind of works. It's like
Yeah.
I just don't feel like we're ever getting rid of Metroidvania.
Oh, we aren't.
Yeah.
We would have already if that was ever gonna happen. Let's be real.
Yeah, for sure.
John, you're reading this one if you don't mind.
Okay, from VGC Kenny, Pokemon has had its hands in a fair amount of cookie jars. Pinball, photography, card game, puzzle, fighting, typing, MOBA, the core RPG series, as well as some others. However, that's not all of them. What video game genre or specific video game / series would you want to see a Pokemon version of?
2D exploration.
Yep, that's it.
That actually, a Metroidvania actually does make sense because if the Pokemon learns like new moves,
Yeah, it does.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I would totally play one of those with like a Lucario or something. That'd be cool. Surprised there's not a kart racer.
I was gonna say, kart racer seems like the easy layup here, right? For them to do. Or even
I mean,
a modder
there was
to do.
Pokemon Dash.
Right.
Yeah.
Was an
But
on-foot racing game, but that also wasn't very good because it was like touchscreen based.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of like not on foot. They're just in carts and just having fun.
What about a
Dude,
Cooking
bro.
Mama type game where you play like a Snorlax or something making a pie? Could be fun.
Well, there is Cafe Mix, but it's more of a puzzle game. But the whole thing is
Yeah.
you're making drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I
want
would play.
I want a Mega Man.
Yep. Mega Man would be good.
Okay, so like, who do you see yourself playing as?
An Eevee. And
Eevee?
each
Interesting.
an Eevee and each power is just a different evolution. And you're just
But
an
for
Eevee
some
that
reason
switch
it can
back to
like
normal.
de-evolve or
Yeah,
whatever.
apparently
Yeah.
like the manga did that at one point. So yeah.
Manga de-evolved a Pokemon? Wow. Okay.
There was specifically an Eevee could switch between multiple evolutions whenever it wanted and go back to default.
Wow. That's the best Pokemon in the world. Why would you not want that one? Just breaks the game.
Yep.
I think at some point that the Eevee chose to actually stay in an evolution. I forget what it actually decided on.
Okay. Probably something lame like a Flareon.
Yeah.
All right, last question comes from Comic Strider. Has there ever been a piece of equipment in any type of video game that you thought sounded really cool or useful, equipped it immediately, and then realized it was actually detrimental during a very important part? Bonus points if you could not unequip it immediately. And I'm seeing in the chat that it locked itself into an Espeon, which is my favorite Pokemon, so I was completely wrong.
Yeah, Espeon's a safe choice.
So the cheating answer, but the one that immediately comes to mind is that's how you basically fuck yourself in Binding of Isaac all the time. Is you take an item because you don't know what it does, and all of a sudden, every time you shoot an enemy, you also take damage and you kill yourself in one room. Like that sort of thing.
Sure, yeah. One that comes to mind is Hades. I unlocked the gun. I was like, oh, I bet this is cool. It's a gun. And I hated playing as it. So I was like, well, I'm never touching this again.
And then it gets so much worse when you get the laser version of it. And you think it'd be so cool, but it's so much worse than the normal
I'm sure
gun.
there is a way to play it. It seems like everyone finds a way to play all the.
Yeah, the gun
weapons.
is the speedrun weapon, just so you know.
The gun's fun. Yeah.
So.
It's a fun weapon.
Just not. I never enjoyed it. The little bit I played, admittedly did not play much of it but
Yeah.
That's fair. My first time I used it, I hated it too.
Yeah.
The bow was similar. I just didn't really like the projectile weapons that much.
I love the bow.
Yeah, the bows are real good too. It's a great game. Damn.
Let's just go play Hades.
Yeah, kind of.
This reminds me, there was a hard drive headline this week. There was like 5 incredible Apex Legends weapons that are absolutely useless in my hands. Which is very true, because there's like some special weapons that only ever appear like in late game, and they're like rare to find. There's like this one sniper called the Kraber that'll do like the most damage, but you got to be fucking good with a sniper. So it's like, hey, the Kraber's available, I could pick it up, and I'm always like, we're gonna lose if I pick that up. I'm sticking with this assault rifle I have.
Yeah.
Any others?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because I know there is, but very rarely. Usually, I kind of try to do that on purpose and then screw up things. Like when we played through Bloodstained, I found an item that lets you, when you walk, it makes squeaky noises.
Okay. Yeah.
So of course, I kept equipping that during cutscenes. So it was just, I would walk in, have like a squeaky voice or squeaky shoes and a voice changer, and just ruin all cutscenes. But that's not really detrimental. Like that was fun.
Sure.
All right. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Narita Boy.
Probably Say No More.
And I'm going to also give it to Narita Boy.
Neat.
All right. I lost my spot. I didn't write anything anyway. The latest poll is up, so if you want to help pick the May game, you can go do that now. Next week, we should be recording our Umurangi Generations episode. So get excited for that, unless we reschedule it, which we will find out shortly. But otherwise, we will be back next week. Wish me luck on my second vaccination.
Good luck.
Good luck.